Check. Welcome back to another episode of Sports for Dummies. My name is Josh, joined by co-host, fellow dummy, John Merchant. How you doing?
Good, Joshy. How are you?
I'm good. There was the in-season tournament today. Another
Back
10.
to it.
Yeah, another 10 games.
It's interesting seeing where the actual standings are. Then you go to the in-season tournament, and it's a completely different thing.
It's weird when you got the Kings
it's
4 zip in the standings for their thing, and then you got the Lakers 4 zip, and they're not doing as well as they should be in the actual standings.
Exactly. So is it teams playing for this more, or they're paying for that money?
Playing for
that money.
They need the mullah.
They're playing for that money.
Yep. No, it makes sense. We're going to jump straight into it. We're going to start off with the Heat and the Bucks. The Heat 1-2-4 to the Bucks 1-3-1. So the Bucks getting up. Johnny, how was that?
All right, I'm already annoyed. So what a game that we should be watching. There's a bit of history with the Heat and the Bucks. You know, they've had playoffs after playoffs against each other. Heat obviously famously won from 8th spot against the first place Bucks last year. And I was so excited to watch this game, and guess Jimmy Butler wasn't playing. Now, he's hurt his ankle apparently, but I'm sick of this. I am sick of every time. It always seems to be when the best teams play that one of the stars take it off. And it's just annoying. Don't worry about the fans who pay their money, their hard-earned cash, to go there and go from state to state. Think about me, who's watching it at home, who's just ready to go, doing nothing, and Jimmy Butler apparently hurt his ankle, but...
Didn't you see he broke his ankle?
Did he actually?
I'm joking. Oh, Jesus. Got him!
You know what? Not good enough.
Oh, that was too good. I thought it was the time, everyone.
That was good.
Jump in on the comments. See what I want to know if everyone thought the same.
Again, he did hurt his ankle, but I started taking it off.
Yeah.
For the in-season game, come on, Jimmy, come on. But in terms of the game, it was good. Like the last 5 minutes, it was really tight. Lillard is really finding some form.
You know what? He's the number 11th on the all-time points per game list.
He's been playing for a long time.
Yeah, but
he's a good
that's
player.
Pretty damn good.
He's a very good player. He's a very good offensive player. It's his lack of defense that he never had. Now, 10 points in the last quarter, 2 massive threes. He was, one of the reasons they won.
Yeah.
Who was good to see though, and we kind of forget about him because he was injured last year, but he was definitely the Robin in the Bucks championship a few years ago. It was Chris Middleton. Hit two massive shots, two really good assists in the last few minutes.
Yeah.
He was amazing. It was good to see Giannis with his defense was on. He had 2 crucial steals. And for the Heat, Bam was huge, 31 points, couple of rejections on Lillard in the last quarter. But Bucks too good, and they go through to the next round.
They take it, yeah, which is good. And then we had the Cavs and the Hawks. That was just a breeze in the park for the Cavs.
I missed that one. I didn't even see that.
It was 128 the Cavs to the Hawks 105. So that was pretty just a stroll. Yeah, a stroll.
I actually missed that one.
Then we had the Nets and the Raptors. The Nets got up 115 to the Raptors 103.
I've missed a couple of games. This is good.
This is news to my ears.
This is news to my ears.
Then we had this one was a bit odd. The Celtics and the Bulls. Yes. It was just an absolute shellacking. 124 to 97.
So this was not going to talk about the game because Celtics just did what they had to do.
Yep.
They punished them. The Chicago Bulls, home of the great Michael Jordan. One of the dynasties, arguably the best dynasty in the modern era, but second to the Boston Celtics of the 60s. The Bulls, I've looked up. So since Michael Jordan retired, they've missed the playoffs 13 times out of 25 years. They haven't won a playoff game since 2015.
Oh, wow.
And they haven't made a conference final since 2011 when they had, there was a couple of years where Derrick Rose was, the man.
He was.
Then he got hurt. The Bulls just need to blow it up.
Yeah. There's no
DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Ball never plays. Just get rid of him. They're not very young. I would just blow them off.
They're not star worthy. They're not going to get to the point where they're going to carry the team to success. They just don't have that in them at the moment. It's pretty obvious. Then we had the Knicks and the Hornets.
A standard win by the Knicks.
Very standard. It was
It's
a 24
against the ballless
win.
Hornets. So
yep, literally. Well done, MJ. Then we had the Timberwolves and the Thunder. That was a pretty close game. So the Timberwolves got up 106 to Harley's Thunder 103.
top of the table in the West. So I can't believe we're saying this, but that was a top of the table game. Scores level, 5 minutes to go. Troy Brown Jr. for the Wolves with 2 massive threes. Was just huge off the bench. I think he had, I think it was 17 or 20 points. He was huge, but they're just so deep. Like if you go through, pull up the stats, both sides actually just played really deep. Like the bench players were good.
Yeah, a lot of their players.
Bit of criticism, which is, a bit unfair on a 17 gamer, but Chet, just a couple of things he has to do from decision making. There was a couple of times where he had the easy shot and then hesitated and then went inside, was easily covered.
But I would argue that Chet's come in, right? I would say he's playing better than.
But I'm talking about today. Okay. There's a couple of things in the last quarter. When he was open, he didn't shoot. He'd go to the bucket. When he could go to the bucket, he would shoot. He just couple of decision making things that he did mess up in the last few minutes there. Now, to your point, is he been better than Wemby? Well,
I think he has been.
Well,
I'm not even on a statistical standpoint, but consistency, I think he's not. He hasn't had huge breakout games.
The numbers are about the same. Chet's been a lot more efficient.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
But, obviously the Thunder have a much superior side than the
Spurs.
But the Wemby thing, we'll talk about that at another time. But no, Chet's been good. I'm being a bit harsh, but there was a few things where he really were costly mistakes.
Yeah, 17 games into the NBA, I think he's going to be relieved of that, Johnny.
Yeah,
I think he's got a lot of learning to do, but it's good criticism, and it will make him a better player. He's probably going to cop that from the team in a subtle, or if he had Johnny as your coach, he'd be ripping shreds through him after 17 games. But it is what it is. It was a
cracking game, though.
Yeah, it was. It's a good game. Then we had the Mavs and the Rockets. The Mavs got up 1-1 to the Rockets 1-1-5. That wasn't a surprise to me. Then we had the Kings and the Warriors. Kings definitely did surprise there. 1-2-4 to the Warriors, 1-2-3. But Warriors aren't playing as good as they should be.
Was it a surprise?
In my opinion, yes, because I said that the Warriors were going to be a contender and they would take it out in the finals this year, and they are doing none of that.
Remember, they went 7 games last year in the first round. This is becoming a little bit of a rivalry, and it was a fascinating last quarter. You had Draymond Green's back, a couple of silly fouls from him. The Warriors were shooting 40% from 3. So they should have won. They were playing really well. Well, they had the game. They were 6 up with 1:30 to go, Josh.
I know.
De'Aaron Fox hit a few big threes.
Yeah.
Now, what hurt them? So it got down to a minute. They were even 5 up. So with 1 minute to go, so Curry had a turnover. Monk hit a 3. Green... They had the ball in their offensive half. Clay's going one way, and he throws it the other way. Turnover. Monk gives him the lead again. Monk was huge in that last quarter. He had 5 points in the last minute, and then Curry had a shot to, win the game.
Yeah.
And he missed, but, there was just a lot of turnovers because the Kings weren't shooting well. They missed about 9 shots in a row, and they were only shooting 34% from 3. So, in this 3-point era that's so important, Warriors had them.
Should have won, they didn't. But
Warriors had them.
They didn't have CP3 for as long as they probably needed. That's all. He only had 5 minutes.
I don't even know if he's making a difference. He started all right, but he is very old.
When you've got Clay, Steph, Looney, Green, and Wiggins filling the 5.
I heard something today. The Lakers and the Warriors seem like they're in very similar boat. So you've got
very true.
You got older teams.
In terms of age,
got older teams. You got LeBron, who's still playing despite his last game played at a really high level. Steph is still playing at a really high level. But they just look like they're just too slow for everyone else, and the age is catching up with them.
Well, probably their team around them as well is becoming older too. So if you don't have the stardom as Steph or LeBron, you kind of need the injection of youth and some star players. Could you imagine if you had like Wemby and LeBron on the same team? You know, you start putting some real, like Chet, you start putting these guys with some absolute superstars who are of age. That's game, set, match.
And this is and that's a really good point. But to that, on the reverse, I think not so much the Lakers because they haven't been together for that long, but the Warriors are obviously a dynasty. Clay very much believes, because they were called the Splash Brothers, yeah?
Yep.
Very much believes that him and Steph were on the same footing. They never were.
No.
Now, that's not to say Clay at his prime isn't one of the greatest shooters of all time.
No.
And he was absolutely unbelievable. But he's not that guy anymore. Steph is still that guy. Draymond ain't that guy.
No.
He's got his intangibles. So it'd be very hard for those sort of players, the mortality, because Steph's still playing at that high level.
That's what I mean.
So a question then, you declared that they would win this year. My question is, are the Warriors done for good?
No. Quite frankly, no. I reckon this is probably their last year, or last maybe 1 to 2 years to really give it a crack. They're done with the current squad, I reckon, if they don't win this year.
They need
100%.
They need to rebuild around Steph.
Yep, they need to, and they almost need to look. It sounds bad, but like CP3 is too old.
CP3 is too old. Clay's come back from a massive injury. He hasn't been the same since he's back. Green at his prime wasn't the greatest athlete ever.
Wiggins, they've got Wiggins. He's doing pretty well.
He was good. It's good having him back.
But you look at the other players, yeah, they've just got to build up.
Just seems very similar to where they were last year.
Yeah.
And it's just they're just that little bit older. And the Lakers are the same.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Well, there was how many games was that? I think there was 10 today. 10 in-season tournaments.
Thought I did well. I thought I had all the games covered, but there was a couple that went through the cracks. But
yeah, we've got there's 7 games being played tomorrow, so there'll be hopefully Clippers are coming up against the Kings. I don't see that getting up. Don't see Fat Harden winning that one. That seems to be the talking point at the moment. I think Fat Harden's copying it in the media, which is good.
Once they
I heard some Russell Westbrook potential trade, all that sort of stuff, and
I hope
sit there and
when Fat Harden gets called Fat Harden in the actual media, we know we heard it here first.
100%.
Been saying it for years, and I had people debating me saying, "Oh, he was good in he was good in playoffs, which he never was, even in his prime." He's just ruined a really good thing in real time.
Yeah. Look, tomorrow's games probably aren't really that worthy.
What have we got?
Pistons, Lakers, Magic, Wizards, Raptors, Suns, Pelicans, 76ers, Grizzlies, Jazz, Nuggets, Rockets, Kings, Clippers.
Pelicans, 76ers.
Yeah,
I think
that's probably
Zion and Embiid, as long as one player doesn't, break their ankle.
I bet you that happens.
We will.
I bet you one of them pulls out. Guaranteed. Now that he's said
we're going to hear about Jimmy Butler news just in amputated foot. Guys, we're going to leave that here, but thank you very much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe and press the notifications, and have a good night.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one. That one was better. I'm fucking G'd up to get this new